You mentioned all that. You mentioned all that. But if I look at the Ghanaian economy at the moment, it's doing. I mean, let's just be honest. It's doing terribly.
Not terribly.
Well, your inflation in your.
The president, not the senior man, host no ama. Yeah, as a move. Or just a Ghana, your economy in that form down flat. And President AKUFFO said that your economy in that form Nijana so. When no ayan command President AKUFFo eko PM BBC na timi say host no and any year conversation video no ha me board na so anya bia but before then no ye ni kan ko BBC wa timi say another show bi eno mo bisa no question about demonstrators I mean democracy of demonstrators who are fighting against galamsey through demonstration arrest I think say they are 52 there ya arrest your mo Ralph kan fellow Ghanaians ama governor mu nyina ewo mu bi na ho na President AKUFFo cheze no, he is not responsible for court system in Ghana. Entini say omakoye bibi na court no and I say the judiciary service no achi omodia. No President AKUFFo he has nothing to say about it. Yekoti any common imra.
Substance to it.
Right. Are you concerned about protest movements? We've seen a lot of protests. Some activists were arrested, put in jail. The opposition is saying you're trying to stifle dissent.
I'm not responsible for jailing people in Ghana. The courts in Ghana are independent institutions, and they have been all through this period of the Fourth Republic. People misconduct themselves and they're brought before court. It's for the court to deal with them. That's not a matter.
It has nothing to do about politics.
It has nothing to do with the executive. And their behavior is what lands them in problem with the police and with the courts. It's not the protests. How can the president, who himself, his political career was aided by leading protests, have problems with protests? I don't have problems with protests. And nothing is done in Ghana to prevent people from airing their views on anything.
As a quick conclusion, you're confident that you will hand over the baton to your vice president?
I believe that first of all, he's waging a good campaign. He has a message that is resonating, especially with the young people in Ghana. And secondly, he has a good record to defend. Despite the economic difficulties, the Ghanaian people know that nearly 8 years in which we were in office were not wasted. We did a lot. Major reforms in education, in our health system, in our road infrastructure, in the development of the digital economy. That's the key ingredients of the Ghanaian economy that have seen significant improvements and development since we came back. So there's a record on which he's campaigning. At the same time, he's also brought some new ideas to the surface, which are ideas, especially of how the young people can also now get involved in developing themselves and the nation's economy. And that is what is giving me confidence.
Abusentino on the president's needing common. Now, and some be say no babontia, na say, oh, Tiebina will can be, you have to be very careful. As I'm not a president, even though say Odika, because arms of government, I mean the three arms of government, the executive, the judiciary, and then the legislature, Obia play the role. Obia work independently, but I don't think they work independently. Omo work in hand. When it comes to separation of power, there omo power no Obia power is separated, but they work in hand. Omo bobo. Until the president betimi command something, say omunye bibi say our judiciary service wo, and I say legislature no so ebetimi ama president no so aye bibi executive no so betimi ama legislature na bibi when it comes to omo powers na separation of powers na dey obia on the power nko, but they work hand in hand. Sa na tie until the judiciary president in as much as judiciary no eye na juma no, you can also command ebia obetimi instruct judicial service ni say ebia issues like this they should know how to handle it and even release the protesters, but make sure say every day they will come to court no matter be deal massive, because President AKUFFo who have political history in Ghana, he is one of the few people who no demonstrate kumi preku demonstration during a roaring time mofra, but yes political the politics of Ghana as a political history no yes kakra. But your president Ekodin Komo BBC
I don't know the economy in the world that's doing well. Tell me.
But if I look at the Ghanaian economy at the moment, it's doing. I mean, let's just be honest. It's doing terribly.
Not terribly.
Well, your inflation in your country, inflation in Ghana.
I don't know the economy in the world that's doing well. Tell me where you are here.
Inflation in Ghana.
The highest inflation.
Well, 15.7%. The Ghanaian cedi has fallen 20% on the dollar, the worst after Russia, which has a lot of sanctions against it.
It's began to firm up. It has begun to firm up, and we're seeing the cedi systematically appreciating against the dollar.
People still can't employ. I was just reading today. People in the hospitality industry that you're pushing so hard. Having to lay their staff off. We've got taxi driver unions threatening strikes because of spiraling fuel costs. I mean, it doesn't look like a place that I want to go and put my money.
Where will you put your money in the world today? Where will you put your money? In Britain, which is suffering the worst standard of living statistics for over 30 years? Is it? Oh, I think let's situate ourselves correctly. The world is going through very difficult times. Ghana is no exception. Nigeria is no exception. There's no country in the world that is escaping the ravages of both COVID-19 and also the impact of the Ukraine. But what you need to look at are where are the elements being put on the ground that look beyond the COVID and beyond the Russian-Ukraine war. And I think you'll find that in Ghana, the recovery program that we have is one that is considered very credible, and it is what is going to give us the opportunity to come out of this period a stronger economy. And it is that future that...
I was saying, President AKUFFO na edin in common. What I say, but once and you be say about one thing or just the economy even though say bad and that's no cry. Or just economy is not bad. But nana ya wuchiri yeah bro, where's it bro nana? Enti ebu come na Captain Kwadwo Martins we twanyo.
Ye betu etiamo. Ye nana bako galamse bebre. Nana do baku galamse bebre. Ye nana baku. Ye nana baku. Ye nana baku. AKUFFO do baku galamse bebre. Ye nana baku galamse bebre. AKUFFO do baku galamse bebre. Baumia baku galamse bebre. Baumia baku galamse bebre. Ye nana baku galamse bebre. Oh yeah, oh mama, oh yeah, oh mama, oh yeah, oh mama. Hey, yo man penini ya friend na nado. We hear the ama otu galamse. AKUFFO galamse. Why what is the one time in that? But we made the tree out of the what's to galamse? Chief of staff table so. I hold your chair table no so. The term no.
I was at Captain Smart in the channel on the just Babiano wasel. As a more Ghana. I was at Rubesia. Now ya chose subscribe. Now hit it notification bell to send the decant. Yes, you macro Bibia Stacy.